Keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with a remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students.
Hello student, welcome to Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College online teaching module. We are here to start with our chemistry lesson, topic number 1, solid state. So let's begin with the lesson. Today what we are going to cover in this particular lecture is introduction to matter, properties of solid, classification of crystalline solid, and under that category we have 4 major categories wherein we will be covering only molecular solid in this particular lecture. So let's start with our lesson. Before starting, we will recall our previous knowledge, what we have learned in the earlier classes about the states of matter. We all know that matter, we have solid, liquid and gases. With the properties, we are very much familiar that solids have definite volume, shape is fixed, they have strong intermolecular attraction, whereas in liquid they also have definite volume but indefinite shape, and their attraction between the molecules is weak as compared to the solid. Lastly, coming to the gases, they are not having, or we say, indefinite volume, they have indefinite shape also, because they are having very weak force of attraction between the molecules, as the molecules are very loosely connected with each other, hence neither the shape nor their volume is fixed. A recent study have gone to give us a new state of matter, that is called as the plasma state, wherein anyways in this particular lesson we are supposed to focus more on the solid state as compared to the other parameters of the states of matter. Coming to important characteristics properties of solids, they are rigid and have definite shape and mass. They have definite volume. Solids are almost incompressible. The intermolecular distance in solids are short and intermolecular force of attraction are stronger. The constituent particles, that is atom, ions or molecules of the solid, have fixed position and can only oscillate between their mean position. Solid diffuses very slowly as compared to liquid or gases. Classification of solids. Solids can generally be classified into two broad categories, crystalline solid and amorphous solid, on the basis of nature or order present in the arrangement of their constituent particles. In crystalline solid, a single crystal of regularities of arrangement of the pattern extends throughout the solid and all points are completely equivalent. Crystalline solids are usually consist of large number of small crystals. Each of them have a definite characteristic geometrical shape. These tiny crystals are called as unit cell. A unit cell is basically a repeating structure unit of a crystalline solid. Crystalline solid has long range order, which means that there is a regular pattern of arrangement of particle, that is atom, ions or molecule, which repeats itself periodically over the entire crystal. The entire crystal will be made up of the same constituent of the unit cell. That means the entire set, if it is a cube, then entire set is made up of cube. If it is a hexagon, the entire set will be made up of hexagon type of structure. An amorphous solid is a substance which constituent particle does not possess a regular orderly arrangement. Since the amorphous solid has random disordered arrangement of constituent, therefore they do not have definite shape, and these substance also possesses the properties of incompressibility and rigidity to certain extent. It is observed that some amorphous solids have some orderly arrangement, but it is not extended to more than a few Armstrong unit. Thus, the amorphous solids are called to have short range order, which means that a regular and periodical repeating pattern is observed over short distance only. These regular patterns are scattered and in between the arrangements is disordered. Some examples of amorphous solids are glass, plastic, rubber, etc. Isomorphism and polymorphism, that is similarity or dissimilarity in crystal structures of different solid, is described as isomorphism or polymorphism. Now let's see what does isomorphism means. two or more substances having the same crystal structure are said to be isomorphism. In these substances, the chemical combination has the same atomic ratio. It can be 1:1, it can be 1:2, 1:3 as per the chemical combination. Like for example, sodium fluoride and magnesium oxide, they both possess 1:1 ratio, whereas sodium nitrate and calcium carbonate, they bear ratio of 1:1:3 respectively. Now, polymorphism. Polymorphism, a single substance that exists in two or more forms or crystalline structure, is said to be polymorphism. Polymorphs of a substance are formed under different conditions. For example, we can say calcite and arginite are two forms of calcium carbonate. Alpha chords, beta chords are also examples of polymorphism. Let's come to the new topic, classification of crystalline solids. Depending upon the nature of intermolecular forces present in the constituent particles, crystalline solids are classified into four classes: molecular solid, ionic solid, metallic solid, and covalent solid. Let's now see what we have in molecular solids and its different constituents. Molecular solids. Molecular solids are crystalline solids in which the constituent particles are molecules of the same compound. They are further subdivided into the following three categories, that is polar molecule, non-polar molecule, and hydrogen bonded molecular solids. Polar molecular solids. In these crystalline solids, the constituent particles are covalently bonded. Polar molecule possesses permanent dipole moment in solid state. They are held together by strong dipole-dipole interaction. Student, this dipole-dipole interaction we have already learned in standard 11. So, there is a separation of positive and negative charge because of the pole nature of molecule. Hence, the polar molecule arranges themselves in such a way that opposite charges of the neighbor molecules are brought closer. Now let us check the characteristics of polar molecular solids. Polar molecular solids are basically, they are soft, they do not conduct electricity, whereas the melting point of the solids are relatively low as the bonding is relatively weak. Examples of this polar molecular solids are solid sulfur dioxide, ammonia, and solid HCl. Non-polar molecular solids. These crystalline solids comprise of either atoms or molecules formed by non-polar covalent bond. In these solids, the atoms or molecules are held by weak dispersion forces or London force. Again, students, you have learned about these forces in your previous class of standard 11. Now, let's see the characteristics of non-polar molecular solids. They are soft, they do not conduct electricity like the previous ones. They have very low melting point, that is lower than polar molecular solid, and are usually in liquid or gaseous state at room temperature and pressure. For example, like iodine exists in solid even at room temperature. Examples of non-polar molecular solids are carbon dioxide, hydrogen, chlorine, methane, and weakly polar molecules like carbon monoxide and other hydrocarbons for non-polar molecular solids at relatively low temperature. Now coming to the last category of molecular solid, that is hydrogen bonded molecular solid. Student, these crystalline solids consist of hydrogen amongst covalent bonded to strongly electronegative atoms like oxygen, nitrogen, or fluorine. In these molecules, the hydrogen atoms acquire additional positive charge and form additional bond with strong electronegative atoms in the vicinity. This additional bond is called as hydrogen bond. Characteristics of hydrogen bonds are they do not conduct electricity. These solids exist as liquid or gaseous at room temperature and pressure. On cooling, the liquids solidifies. Examples of these are water and ammonia. Student, here are the assignment questions. Kindly go through it. Check out for the textbook on the link given below. Find out the answer and write in your notebook. Like this particular lecture, web links for other subject and other lectures are available on our college website and also on our YouTube channel. Till then, thank you. Stay home, stay safe.